Survivors of a day school in Burns Lake, British Columbia have long awaited a Canadian Human Rights Tribunal into their allegations of abuse. APTN News reporters Kathleen Martens and Lee Wilson are there as the trial gets underway. Kathleen, thanks for joining us. You're obviously on the ground there in BC. Can you tell us what happened on day one today? And what happened today?
Well, it was a pretty somber morning. There were a number of elected and hereditary chiefs who addressed the crowd. It's set up in a gym, about 3/4 full, so between 30 and 50 people. And there has been a death in the community here, so the drumming and dancing that was talked about didn't happen out of respect for that family. The chiefs directed their comments pretty much at lawyers for the RCMP who are gathered here, making comments like, if you treat us with respect, you will hear the truth. And there's also, lawyers for the survivors here as well, and they're writing everything down furiously. So I think now we're going to get into the testimony, but this morning it was pretty somber mood.
Well, Kathleen, can you paint us a picture of the small community and all of the extra people that are there? How's the community holding up with everything going on?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I mentioned, there was a potlatch late last week where a death occurred of a young man, and so even here today some of the participants are wearing blue ribbons on their right arm sleeves as out of respect for the family, because normally there wouldn't be any events going on, and this has been waited for so long they just didn't want to, put it on hold again. Lake Babine First Nation is part of Burns Lake. The folks live, up on the hill over there. Behind me is the gathering place. That's a venue attached to the Burns Lake Band Office. There are quite a few folks here from out of town, but many are here from the community to encourage and support the survivors.
Well, and Kathleen, there's a number of witnesses speaking during this. Can you tell us who they are?
Yes, there are 3 survivors on tap to speak right after this lunch hour break. And then a reporter, Laura Robinson, who first broke this story way back mid-2000s. She's on tap to testify as well. The hearing is sitting between 9 and 5 every day, so depending on how long each testimony goes, we could potentially hear from 4 more people, or from 4 people this afternoon.
And a last one for you here, Kathleen. This has been a long time coming for some of these survivors. What do they hope the outcome will be? Excuse me.
Yeah, you're right. It has been many years of waiting to tell their story. They hope that, of course, the commission chair, who's called a member, will find in their favor that the RCMP did do a half-hearted investigation, as they allege, and believe that they were lying, that, of course, the particular teacher they've accused could never be an abuser. They feel that the RCMP brought those biases into the investigation, and so they're hoping that the member will see beyond that, will hear their testimony of what happened at school, and believe that they were discriminated against by the RCMP because they're Indigenous peoples.
Well, Kathleen, we'll certainly be watching as this unfolds. Thank you so much for joining us here.
You're welcome, Daryl.